Welcome to our daily reflection for this Monday, July 29th. And today we have the feast of Mary and Martha and Lazarus. Oftentimes in the history of the church, it was the feast of Mary and Martha, but now in the church's memorial, it includes Lazarus. So we have the whole family. And so one thing I think that the church is trying to nudge us with this slight adaptation and inclusion of Lazarus is that every family, every Christian family is called to be a holy family, centered on Jesus Christ, because that's what's going to unite Mary, Martha, and Lazarus is their friendship with Jesus Christ. And that's what should unite every family, right? Every family should come into unity and to focus around Jesus Christ. And remember what Father Peyton used to say, a family that prays together stays together. It's a great line from Father Peyton, and it's really true. And so that's one of the first things we should reflect on today as we reflect on the gospel reading, which mentions Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. And of course, the story is Lazarus has just died. Jesus was delayed in coming. He kind of took his time and for a purpose. And Martha comes out to greet Jesus as they're mourning the death of, and they've already buried Lazarus. And Martha comes out to greet Jesus, and she kind of gently rebukes him. If you had been here, my brother would not have died, right? And that's both affirmative, that she's saying Jesus could have healed him, but it's also a gentle rebuke, like, if you could have gotten here, if you could have made this more of a priority, more urgent, my brother wouldn't have died. And then Jesus, like anybody who's counseling somebody who's mourning, says to Martha, your brother will rise. And then she responds, yes, I know he will rise in the resurrection on the last day. And of course, it was Jewish belief that all would rise from the dead at the end of time, at the final judgment. And so she's like, yes, of course my brother will rise in the end. So I know this death is for a time. Death is not permanent. But she misunderstands what Jesus is saying. Jesus, when he says, your brother will rise, he's not speaking about the end of time and the final judgment. He's speaking about what's going to happen that day. Because Jesus, as he then responds to Martha, Jesus reveals something about who he is. I am the resurrection and the life. And he who believes in me will not die but have life. And so Jesus reveals that he is the resurrection. So the resurrection and the restoration of the dead that's going to come at the end of time is already present. So the last day stands before Martha in Jesus Christ. The resurrection and the life stands before Martha in the person, or in the person of Jesus of Nazareth, who is there in the flesh. And so Jesus is the resurrection and the life. And he reiterates that I am the resurrection and life. Whoever believes in me, even if he dies, will live. And of course, Martha then responds, I believe, because she says, do you believe? And he says, yes, Lord, I believe that you are the one to come into the world, the Son of God, who is coming into the world. And so with Jesus, the glory of God, the life of God, and the resurrection is already present before the end. And that's to give us hope, to see a glimpse, a foreshadowing of what God will do at the end of time. He does in the middle of time to Lazarus, and then more significantly, with his own resurrection from the dead. And so that's to give us faith about the ending. And so today in our meditation, let's reflect on two things. One, how all families centered on the friendship with Jesus are to be called a holy family, right? And like Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. And secondly, how at the end of time there will be a resurrection, and our beloved dead will rise in Christ. And we are to believe and do the work of believing so that we too can rise from the dead. But first we have to believe in Jesus Christ, that he is the resurrection and the life. May the Lord bless and keep you in that faith.
This daily reflection is brought to you thanks to the generous support of the Mission Circle. Join the Mission Circle to help Catholics worldwide understand, live, and share their faith. Sign up at missioncircle.org today.